Hey, Mark Harrington here, Executive Director for Created Equal. I'm in Times Square in New York City. In Midtown Manhattan today, we are conducting our pro-life outreach. As you can see behind me, we have abortion victim photography on our sandwich board signs. Our internship team is on the ground here in Times Square, sharing the truth about abortion and the gospel with those who are passing by. Lots of people out today, people from all over the world. There are vacationers here, people coming to New York City to tour the city. Plus, we've got New Yorkers around as well. So, if people are wondering whether New York's open for business, it is, because there are lots of people out here in Times Square, and we're having a great opportunity to speak to them. As you can see right behind me, we have Amelia talking to a young man right here. And also Claire on the other side has been talking to these two young ladies for almost an hour, ever since we landed here about an hour ago. So we're having real impact on the people that are stopping by. And, you know, although there's a lot of media in Times Square, as you can imagine, there's a lot of things to be distracted by. We're certainly drawing attention, in part because we have people here that can talk to others. So if you would, Mr. Cameraman, just pan out, show people a panoramic of what we're dealing with here in Times Square. There you go, right over there. Stop right there. Focus that way. That's where the ball comes down for New Year's Eve, and it says at the top 2021. So that's facing south on Manhattan. And you have all the other media all around. And our people are positioned on the across the street here and then here as well, talking to passers-by. This morning we were at the Planned Parenthood in Lower Manhattan, which was formerly named the Margaret Sanger Planned Parenthood facility. We were also at Dr. Emily's. We have good news. We had at least one turn away this morning. It was a heart-wrenching situation in which there was a husband and wife, or at least they were engaged, debating back and forth whether they were going to go inside and have an abortion. And through the intervention of God and some sidewalk counselors, they turned away. So we have at least one turn away. We don't know if it's confirmed that they chose life for the baby, but the fact that we were at that Planned Parenthood made a difference this morning. So here we are again, Times Square. What I'm going to do here, and I know if I walk around, I run the risk of the video breaking up a little bit, but I want you to get a feel for what's going on here. So go ahead, Mr. Cameraman. I'd like to hone in on a couple of conversations here and listen to Emily. How you doing, sir? Okay. What do you think about all this?
You spare $100?
What's that?
Could you spare $100?
I don't have $100 today.
Well, why
What do you
don't you go get him and then I will talk.
you want to get paid for your a position on abortion? Oh, you have. Okay. Are you pro-life or pro-abortion, sir?
I'm why is it why does how is that any of your business?
I'm sorry.
I don't mean to be rude, but how is any that of your business?
I don't know. What do you say to that? He says, "Why is that our business?"
No.
Well, she was talking to you, so I just wanted to.
You wanna know what she knows, or you wanna know what I know?
Well, you asked, why is it anyone's business, right?
How is that any of your business? Whether I'm pro-life or
Oh, okay. Well, fine. If you don't want to talk about it, that's fine.
I'll ask you.
I'm curious.
How is that any of your business?
I'm curious about your opinion. How's that? You don't have to. You don't have to give it to me. Well, because we feel like abortion is an important issue and it kills a baby, and the way people think about that matters.
You pro-vaccine or anti-vaccine?
I'm pro-life.
That's not.
Are you pro-life or pro-abortion? Okay, I really don't want to talk about the vaccines. I want to talk about why we're here today. So thank you very much for your time, sir. All right. Okay. Come on over here. Ma'am, may I ask you a question? No, okay. Very much. All right. Come on up here. So I know you've been here a while talking. What do you think about these signs?
Um, I'm very pro-choice myself,
Okay.
and I disagree with these signs. I think they are like blown out of proportion and are made to like shame and guilt women into having abortions or not having abortions. I don't know. I'm just very pro-choice. I think you guys are sending the wrong message. And if your whole thing is about saving a life, put that effort somewhere else where it really matters. Put that effort into the foster system where there are newborns being raped, there are newborns being molested, there are newborns being traumatized. If you really care that much about a life, do something that matters today and right now to the like the babies and the children that are like in horrible situations, because realistically you're like, oh my god, thank god that person didn't have an abortion. They didn't have an abortion, they put it in the foster care system. Like, I'm just saying, like, if that's
So
really
you've been speaking to Claire, right? What was your response to her position?
Um, just that it is a human being and that doesn't overpower the woman's right. That as that child's right, it is the child's right.
So what do you think of that? Do you think it's the baby is a baby or it's a human being or not?
to me, honestly, at that stage it is a few cells. To me, it's not worth like ruining someone's life just to save a few cells. And also, like, you guys as men, I'm so sorry, but it is not your place to ever dictate a woman's right. Like, I'm like, you
Is it
just
okay for her to dictate a woman's right?
and as a woman,
Oh.
I think it's extremely offensive that she is trying to dictate women's right. As a woman,
Because why would she? Women have like not have rights for as long as men have had rights, and we are starting to progress. And she's only bringing us in the past. And I feel like everyone should have their own choice. And as a woman, she's trying to control all women. She can have her beliefs. She doesn't have to get an abortion. That is fine with me. But don't try.
How is she controlling women? Just I'm curious.
taking away their choice. She's taking
How has that happened?
because legally, if you're gonna put this into legal action, you're gonna take away that woman's ability to have an
But right now it is legal in New York up until the time of birth. You realize that, right?
and you know what? Good for New York.
that is
I am very happy
Right
about that.
now, women's rights aren't being taken away in New York, are they?
To push women's right to be taken away. You are fighting for that. That is what you are actively fighting. And obviously, like, it is so controversial right now with like abortion, extremely with like things that have been going on legally, and like how women's rights were literally almost taken away when Trump was in office, and that was like an extremely traumatizing and terrifying situation for so many women. And like, if you saw the amount of distress and like how distraught so many people were with even the idea of their rights being taken away, you should not be willing to put that into action. Like, I just don't understand how, like,
Okay. So I imagine you guys have already talked about that. How did you respond to that? About women's rights being taken away?
Yeah, just that these women deserve a right too, and that like half of them are women, and that they deserve a right, that their right, that the woman's right doesn't overpower the child's right.
Would you recognize that the unborn are human?
I don't think they're like alive yet. I think they're human, but they're not alive. Like,
What would you say about that photo?
I could care less. That thing is not alive to me. I'm so like, I also don't think
That's
that's
also
alive.
blown
Well,
up
he
and
isn't
that's-
alive now. He's dead. He was killed by abortion. But
Correct.
I mean, are we dealing with a human life there? Do you believe?
Can I see like the facts behind that photo? Like, do you have it on your phone? Like, of like of
it's also,
legal,
Well, I
like,
know
you-
where that abortion took place.
where did it take
Well,
place?
I'm not able to give you that information.
So then, how do I know that that photo's real?
Well, the reason why I can't give you that information is because we have confidential agreements with the people that take the photos. So if I gave those out,
Well, I'm just
then
saying,
they
if
would
you're
go
unable
and
to- if
they
you're
would, you
unable
know.
to prove that that photo is real, for all I know, that could literally be something that was created in a lab. Have you seen those photos?
Well, let me ask you this. I'm providing photos. You may dispute them. That's fine. I mean, you're free to dispute whether they're true or not. But really, the onus is on you to provide some other facts that dispute these images. Where- No, I mean, can you provide other images of abortion? Because these are real photos.
all decked out with your pictures, your flyers, your information, and it is an unfair conversation. It is. We don't have our stats on us right now. I'm not gonna go like I don't have the doctors right now, but yes, I could provide images that, of course, maybe they're the same images, but the way that I perceive them and the way that I believe, I don't give a fuck if that baby is or that not alive child, if that fetus
You
is.
slipped up and called her a baby.
I didn't mean to. That's why I corrected
It's
myself.
okay because really, we all understand it is a baby, right? I think you seem to be very intelligent young ladies. You probably realize that we can agree that we're dealing with a human life here, and it is a baby. The issue is, do we have the right to take their life or not? Does the woman's
You have the
rights
right to do every
overrule?
other choice.
Yeah, sure.
We have the right to take their life away if the woman decides to. If she
Yeah.
doesn't,
Right.
then no.
Well, I would be much
I have a
more
question. If
pleased when people are honest enough to admit that we're dealing with human life, and it's okay to take that life.
I don't think you human life. Do you think
Well, I
that
go back to
abortion-
asking,
do you think that
then
abortion
what
is
is
ever
it?
okay based on
I'm sorry, go
I
ahead.
think that abortion is ever okay in circumstantial situations.
There were
Say
big.
that, say that a 13-year-old was raped, and
Did
she
you guys
is.
already had that?
Yeah. So I
conversation?
want to know. I want to hear your response.
Well, what did she say?
She said it's horrible, but I'm here to ask for your opinion
Okay.
on this. 13-year-old was raped.
Right.
She's in extreme poverty. She does not have the financial funds to support herself.
Right.
She doesn't have the financial funds to support a child.
Right. Well, I would say hopefully we have common ground that the rapist should be prosecuted to the
Yeah,
fullest
but
extent of
what
the
about
law.
her?
First
What
of
if
all.
she's like, I need an abortion. I need an abortion. What will I do? I cannot do anything. I do not have the
Well, let
resources.
me
I do not have the
acknowledge
funds.
again that that's a very difficult, the worst condition or situation you could
And that's
ever
very-
imagine,
that's
right?
very common.
So let's agree that this is an extremely terrible situation, and the person that raped the woman should be prosecuted to the full extent of the law. I know. I just want to get that out of the way because I don't want you to think that I'm somehow cold-hearted to the situation that she's in. Obviously, it's a difficult one. The question is what is the unborn? If they're human, then that child doesn't deserve to lose his life for the acts of the father.
I don't
The
think it's
father-
even a life because it's not alive yet, and it doesn't have a life yet.
Yeah,
It
I
doesn't
understand.
have a life until it is out of the womb. It does not have a life.
That is your position.
It just does not have a life until it is out of the womb. And if you are going to risk someone else's
It's a part of a
well-being,
woman's body until it leaves the womb.
and
So,
just as,
it's her
as a
choice.
man, you have no right to.
But genders don't have arguments. You understand that? I mean, I don't have to be African American to be against racism. I can support the
Well,
Black
I don't think
Lives
as a
Matter
white person,
position.
you can't go
I can
against
be
even
against
as a
anti-Semitism.
white person, I
Well,
get the racial
why does
argument,
race
and
have
I'm
anything to do with it?
supporting those black people. I'm supporting the people of color, and I'm agreeing with them. I am amplifying their voices. I'm amplifying what they need. And many women, you are taking away women's voices. You are going against what women want. And as a man, you are not allowed. Like obviously, you can't.
Well, you know, if men owned up to their responsibilities when they got a woman pregnant, we wouldn't have as many abortions, would we?
what man is in her life when she's
Well,
like,
this morning we there was a young man who they were debating as to whether they should have an abortion, and they were they decided not to, and it was because the father said, "I don't want to kill my son," and he should have some say, should he not?
I think you should have some say, but ultimately, I think it is down to the mother because it is her body.
Because she's carrying the child.
It,
Right.
it is.
I think if
Okay.
a man 100% says you should have the kid, you should have the kid. She says I don't want the kid. She's not having the kid. Simple as that. Like,
But I
it's-
agree. I agree. A man's voice is important in that, but
Okay.
if it is not your child, do not dictate what the woman says.
All right.
And even the woman, if it's not my child, do whatever you want. And I'm saying pro-choice is often taken as pro-abortion. It is not. Me myself could never have an abortion in my life. I could be 100%. I hate abortions, as you guys, totally against abortions. Would never, could never, couldn't even imagine it. If she wants to get an abortion, not my life.
Well, listen, I appreciate you guys taking the time to talk to us.
Yeah,
We're not going to see eye to eye today. I get that. That's okay. But we were able to have a civil disagreement. That's all right, right? So hopefully you've got something to think about. Maybe I have a few things to think about. Claire has a few things to think about. So thanks.
About it in the grand scheme of things, also with overpopulation, the world does not need that, whatever that is.
All right. Well, thanks so much. You don't have to leave, but thank you so much for taking the time. I very much appreciate it. All right. So, all right. Well, again, here we are in Times Square. That's the kind of conversations we're having today. We've got some folks over here around the area. Let's see. How is it when I go across the street? Does it start breaking up? All right, let's go ahead across the street here. We have Claire over here. All right, I'm sorry, Audrey. I get it mixed up. Hi. We're going to go across the road here. All right, come on. Mr. Cameraman. All right, here we are in Times Square. We've got, there you go. Caleb's going to be talking to the same young ladies. They're making their rounds. That's good. We have Maya over here as well. And then Maggie. Maggie's having a conversation with a young man. He's got a bird on his shoulder. It's all good. All right. All right. Emma's having a conversation. This guy looks kind of hostile, actually. I'm not sure if I want to go interview him. All right. Let's just stop right here. So, folks, again, if you have a comment, go on our Facebook page and go ahead and make a comment. We'll respond to you and we'll interact with you on social media. The question is out there as to whether we should be here in Times Square or not. You know, we're putting ourselves out there a little bit. So far, everything's remaining civil. We haven't had any problems with people knocking over signs and that kind of stuff. Although it does happen, it hasn't happened today, thankfully. And we're hoping to continue that kind of dialogue. We'll be here until probably 3:30 this afternoon. So be in prayer for us as we continue to conduct outreach here in New York City. So, all right. God bless you, folks. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.